Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about the massive Halo reveal in October. I asked the question, what do you realistically think we're seeing this October for the future of Halo reveal? I got a whole bunch of answers, some positive, some negative, and as someone who literally lives and breathes Halo, especially news related content, I figured I could give a really good opinion and weigh in on what you guys have said. This also means that in the comments today, I want your best guess as to what we're going to see. So let's get into it. This is what the Halo community thinks the October reveal is going to be. So first of all today, Nick says, probably a good showing of the Combat Evolved remake and a 30-second teaser for the other game. And really, I got so many comments saying see remake, see reboot, a retelling of Combat Evolved. I'd be very surprised if this wasn't shown, but what I will say, and I'll go into more detail in a minute, is that this showing, this reveal, for the health and longevity of the franchise, it needs to be substantial. Like outside of what I think will be shown, what I know needs to be shown to give folks a little hope is something that reinvigorates the community. Nick also says a 30-second teaser for the other game. Yeah, we know that multiple projects are in the works, so the Combat Evolved remake, potential multiplayer standalone project, and the Halo Infinite sequel. But really, I think something needs to be coming out before November 2026. Again, this is for the health of the franchise. I think operating from a position of strength going into the Combat Evolved remake is much better than if it just comes out next year for Halo's 25th anniversary. I say that for two reasons. One, many people just aren't that excited for the CE remake. Maybe that will change if people see Halo Studios are doing a truly magnificent job. And two, really, the Combat Evolved remake just might not land as well if the franchise is in worse shape. If anything was to come out at all before November 2026, I think it would be the multiplayer standalone game. Now on that topic, Mr. Gruntington says, and by the way, all of those Spartan renders you see in my thumbnails comes from Gruntington. They're publicly available for everyone to use, so I commission and then he adds them to a Google Drive. If you want to use them, you're more than welcome to. What he says is, I don't care about how realistic it is, but man, I really hope that they show off whatever Certain Affinity has been cooking in the background after all of this time. Now what Gruntington is alluding to is of course Project Tatanka. Now the project started as a battle royale. The battle royale was running in the Infinite engine. It had internal development playtests. There was solos, duos, and trios, and then once the decision was made to go to the Unreal Engine, it basically died. Then from the ashes, Project Eker was born. The reason why I mentioned the old project is that many systems, assets, and things that were made for Tatanka will be usable with the Unreal Engine. This means Certain Affinity has been cooking and working on a larger size mode for years. I'm going to be crystal clear, nobody knows what this project truly is. No leakers know, no news outlets know, I don't know. It could be an extraction shooter, it could be a battle royale, it could be a Battlefield style Halo game for all we know. It could be anything. What I will say is that larger scale modes above big team battle haven't really been explored with Halo, but I know that they would work great. I'll have to wait and see to judge, but as always, I hope for the best. Some people always say to me, why the hell are you always so optimistic? And it's simply because I want there to be awesome Halo games. Sure, we might never reach the peak of the golden days again, but that doesn't mean we can't still have fun. Now next on the list, we have Grunt.api. This man, Zenny, might be one of the few people in the world who knows better than anyone what might be happening with Halo's future. He's the guy who showed Halo going to PlayStation. He's the guy who shared Project Eker, so when he commented, you could bet I was paying attention. Grunt says at best, a new Halo Services ecosystem reveal for crossplay, and a tease for what's next. This is probably the most important comment on the video. Ecosystem means PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Play Halo anywhere, and there's no word on the Switch as of now. A tease obviously could be the CE Remake 2, but truthfully, even if Halo is announced for PlayStation, pre-existing fans aren't going to be super satisfied. Next up we have Pedro, and I picked this comment because I see so many of them asking for a Halo 3 anniversary. Pedro says hopefully a Halo 3 remaster or remake. To Pedro and to everyone curious about this, it'll happen. Not today and not for a while, but with Microsoft and Halo Studios retelling the story of Combat Evolved, we will eventually get to Halo 3. The downside is we've got to wait a long time. The upside is it gives developers practice on Unreal, so by the time they get to Halo 3, they'll have so much more experience under their belts, and that could equal a better game. Speaking of remade Halo games, and it's on the same vein, screen, Sandra says Halo 5 PC, remastered CE. And we've already spoken about the remake / remaster, whatever it's going to be, but Halo 5 PC, at this point, I don't see it ever happening. Yes, it would be great. Yes, the niche audience it would have would be so dedicated to playing it. And yes, Halo 5 multiplayer is really great fun. Unfortunately, with how picky Microsoft has been in the past, I'm not sure this is a project they'd ever greenlight. In saying that, with all of the amazing crossovers we've seen lately, so Helldivers 2, the Fortnite Chief and the Spartans, hell, you could even go Rainbow Six Siege. I truly wish Microsoft has seen the light and they've seen the potential Halo can have. There was so much news that came out in the last few years saying X343 developers literally pitched a Helldivers 2-like game and it never got approved. That upset me. Then the Space Fighter Halo Combat game, that didn't get past prototyping. Then the Halo Mega Box game, that didn't make it past the first few levels. You guys can see where I'm going with this. They were all fantastic ideas, missed opportunities. Moving on from that, and Kevin made this comment. I'll put it on screen, but there's one part of it I really want to focus on. Halo MCC PS5 trailer, Halo Combat Evolved Remake, Halo ODST sequel, real-time tactics games. So to that comment I say, 1, Halo MCC on PlayStation needs to happen. Those classic games are iconic and it might be the push to finally get a modded custom games browser on MCC. I will fight for this if it gets announced. 2 is a Halo ODST sequel. This is the bit I wanted to focus on a lot. I think non-Spartan gameplay in the Halo universe is an untapped goldmine. There's a large opportunity to absolutely dominate and take over if Halo was handled correctly. PvE, you've got it. Milsim realistic, you could do that too. Space fighter combat, you know how I feel about that. You guys have heard me say it all before. Handle Halo correctly, the series will literally dominate gaming once again. They've got the golden goose of versatility in the Halo franchise, and it's my dream to see that utilized. Following on from that, we have something I don't usually talk about, but it's interesting and I have a theory. Hilk says, I just want a good game with a decent esports foundation. Halo Infinite Esports has been very successful. It's one of the few areas where Infinite has gone from strength to strength. That ends in October. Well, I should say goes on hiatus. I have a strange feeling this is an indication of something. No, I don't know anything concrete. This is pure speculation. Whether it be a new game, whether it be something that isn't a World Championships, but tournaments could still be held. I just can't shake this feeling that the World Championships going on hiatus means something. So I'm adding it in here today. As a quick side note, I'm sure with Halo 7, the Halo World Championships will come back. I have no idea when that would be. Now I've got to say, not every comment I read was positive, and I would not be doing my due diligence if I didn't cite the concerns of the people. So I'm going to rapid fire through a few and then explain why people feel that way. First up, and Derek says, some Silver Team garbage reboot. Hopefully not, but it wouldn't surprise me with how little they care about the franchise now. All I'll say is to the developers, do not do anything game related to the Silver timeline, because that is a recipe for disaster. Netflix has picked up the show, no word of a third season just yet, but whenever I'm chilling at night, it keeps getting recommended to me. Speaking of the show, Mythic says, watch them announce the show got a renewal and that is it. Silence says, probably a epic cinematic teaser for a book. And didn't you guys get the memo? Halo is a thriving book series now, and then you get the occasional video game. In all seriousness, it's my hope that this multiple project idea that Microsoft has for Halo equals better, more consistent releases. Something that I do want to touch on, and I've read this from you guys too, I try to read every comment because they're important to me. Zach says, honestly, the CE remake, which I'm not too jazzed about, I wish they would push into more new stuff. Move to Unreal, sure, but continue from Infinite. And this is a really important comment. A lot of people wish we were moving on to Infinite sequel. People just want new content, new lore, new stories. The Combat Evolved story, for better or worse, regardless of how well Halo Studios does, it's a story that's already been told in one way or another. I completely get why people just want to see new things, so I hope Halo 7 isn't really far away. Keeping with the trend of new, and Limeade says, we're going to see a panel of big talking heads just talking. This game is next level, an evolution in Halo. Great team and people working tirelessly on it, the usual. And he's right, Good or bad, regardless of what the game is, I don't really need to say any more than that. I feel like quoting Todd Howard's 1,000,000 times the detail, but it's true. Mostly every game vidoc nowadays seems awfully similar. Personally, if we do get some awesome gameplay for us to analyze attached, then at least for me, I'll be a happy man. Finally today, and yes, there's been heaps about the Halo remake, but I just want to say, yes, the Halo remake could be generational, which means it respects Bungie's legacy, builds on top of it, it's to the level of quality of the remade Doom trilogy we've seen. But even then, if everything is absolutely nailed, people are still scared to be excited and optimistic. They have been burnt so many times that they don't want to be let down for the 100th time. They want Halo to succeed, but they're hesitant in believing things can be better. And for that reason alone, I really hope Halo Studios pulls out all of the stops this October. I want to be able to make a video October 25th and say we are finally back, because that is what Halo fans deserve. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's what I wish would happen. And that's it. They are the general comments of the Halo community on what might get shown at the World Championships in October. Let me know your thoughts on what you think we'll see. I look forward to reading what you have to say. Thank you as always for watching, and thank you for leaving your comments. It made for a great video. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you all later.